guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here, and we're back with more Super Nintendo games, as I'm trying to go for that full set of video games on the Super Nintendo system. So, we'll just jump into it. Last time I left off with 514 games out of the 721. I am closing in on having just 200 games left. So, I figured I'd stop by one of my favorite local video game stores, and that is called reliving. So if you're ever in Maryland, and more specifically Eldersburg, Maryland, you might want to check out this place because they had a copy of Pocky and Rocky 2. But I did not pick that game up this time, but we'll jump into all of the awesome games that I scored. So first up on the list, this is one that I didn't really know much about until I was doing some research on the Super Scope. This is Bazooka Blitzkrieg. So this is one of those Super Scope games. So it's really neat because it's like your gallery shooter, but you have side-scrolling and vertically shooting aspects to it. So it does have like this slow pace at first where you're, shooting these robots at a slow rate, but then it like picks up, you have different helicopters, it is like much faster paced on some of the areas, but then it kind of slows back down again. So it is very neat to see how the Super Scope worked on the Super Nintendo, and just the limited amount of games that they had for that. But it's always great to add another one of those into the collection, and I just absolutely love it because you have machine gun capabilities, missiles, so that's always fun, and pretty much everything explodes. You have like tons of explosions in this game, and not only do, like your enemies explode, but everything like in the background explodes too. So it's really just a fun time. And if you want to practice, they do have this whole like boot camp, target practice part of the game as well, so that you don't have to just jump right into it. But this is one that for some reason is a rather difficult game to find, so I'm really glad that I scored it there and I found a great deal on it. And then on to Alien 3. So for some reason I thought that I had this game in the collection, but this one is an interesting game because it is a lot better than the movie. So the music is fantastic in this game. It definitely stands out. That's probably one of the best aspects to it because this is your 2D side-scrolling action platformer game. So you do get a flamethrower, you have this like whole grenade launcher and a machine gun. You kind of can like switch through those. The missions, so you have like tons of them. So it's really cool because you get to, create your own journey. So you have different routes and different orders to go ahead and choose these different missions. So it's not like something where you have to just go particularly in order. You could kind of like go all around. So you get to like destroy alien eggs, you have rescue missions, and it's an interesting game that I'm hoping I can explore a little bit more. Maybe when I invest some time into it a little bit more, I could just see how this game is and, give my own take on it in comparison to the movies, because I just love all of this like back in the day, so I think that this will be a fun one to play. So if you guys are enjoying this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification because you don't want to miss out on any upcoming videos in the Super Nintendo series. Then on to Choplifter. So this one is Choplifter 3 because the first one was on the Nintendo Entertainment System, then the second one was only on the Game Boy. So I thought that that was interesting that they had the second game only on a handheld system. But for 3, you have it back on the Super Nintendo, and you get to play as a rescue helicopter. So you get to rescue your hostages. It's very like unique and different because you have to like manage your time and everything else throughout the game. But it has like such a unique playability to the game that I thought it was an interesting one. Now it's not something that I didn't really think of when I actually read this game, but right here on the label it even says Choplifter 3 Rescue Survive. So it's just an odd title and one that maybe I'll try a little bit more, as I kind of like the concept and I love how there's like no other games like this one on the Super Nintendo. And then on to Desert Strike. So this is a game right here. This is called Return to the Gulf. So this is for all of those like Jungle Strike fans who just absolutely love this. This is your isometric military shooter. You have a machine gun, missiles as well. So there's like 4 different stages and you get to choose a co-pilot when you play this game. Now it's very important on who you choose in this game because they're the ones who do the aiming. and you get to like destroy buildings and everything else throughout here. But I love how the vehicles look very realistic, but I do love how games like this have realistic environments in the background, and it's just really cool because this is a great looking game and it also sounds good. So this is a pretty inexpensive one that I'm looking forward to trying out a little bit more, along with, you know, Jungle Strike and all of the others that are very similar. And then on to Carrier Aces. So this one I didn't really know too much about, but this is your World War II flight simulator game. So you get to take on various missions throughout this game. You have like dogfights, different runs, different attacks. This is a pretty difficult game to control, and I didn't really find too many people saying amazing things about this game. So this is one that, you know, I'm probably going to steer away from, but if you guys remember playing it and you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below. And then on to this game. So this is going to be Star Trek: The Next Generation. Now, I found it interesting because this game was released on like every different system. So you have it on the Nintendo Entertainment System, you have it on like the Genesis, you know, handheld systems, but it's a little bit different on the Super Nintendo. So this one is just crazy that it's a lot different than the other versions. You have different missions, there are some puzzles in the game, and then from what I saw is that this game has a lot going on in it. So it's definitely better to play with the manual or like some sort of guidebook or something by your side. But there are tons of different characters that you get to choose from, and they all have their own unique abilities. So I could really see that they had so much, you know, that they were trying out in this game, because you really want to see which characters you want by your side, and you really want to hone in on their special abilities. Now this one might be something that, you know, if you are like a huge Star Trek fan, and you know a lot about the lore and everything else, this might be like the perfect game for you. But this is something that I probably wouldn't play just because it seems like this game is like all over the place, and I feel like I just don't know enough about Star Trek. But what do you guys think? Were you Star Wars fans, Star Trek, or even both? Let me know in the comments below. So right here I added 6 more games into the set, so ending out with 514. Now 520 games out of the 721. So it's really awesome because I'm almost to that 200 mark, and I can't wait to see which games are going to be next on my list. But you guys definitely want to check out Play Raven if you're ever in the Maryland area, because they have some awesome games, awesome deals, and there's just so much in stock. And not only do they have tons of video games, consoles, and everything else, they have so much cool stuff on display in the store. And you guys don't want to miss that, because me and my buddy Josh went there, we were able to film, and we got to take a closer look at all of the promotional items, display items, and just some that, you know, you just don't see every day. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that and check out my buddy Drinking Games with Josh's channel, because we had such a blast. So of course, let me know in the comments below which games you really enjoyed, and let me know which ones you guys think I should try and find next. So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out all of my other videos and stay tuned for more.